drove up yesterday from Georgia. It's about an eight and a half hour trip. So I drove up with my fiance. Got here. We wanted to kind of look around. She's never been here, and last time I was here was when I was in second grade for a field trip. So kind of wanted to get up, take a look at Springfield, and got to show her around a little bit. So it was a good trip.
What are you most looking forward to with this program?
Just being able to build on all the successes and everything that they've had, that they got installed here already. I know they got a great group of kids. I've met a handful of them, and just great kids to be around. And I'm anxious to get in the weight room, start working with them, and get them out of the field and just get after it a little bit.
When are you planning on moving and starting?
I'll be up here for the whole week of spring break, and then after that I'll get up here probably as much as humanly possible as I can, and then as soon as my school's done, I think we're almost on the same school schedule, so as soon as that's finished, I'll be up here for the summer every single day. So.
Coach, talk your background a little bit, Coach. Your college and your time in the NFL.
Yes, I grew up in Aurora and played for my dad, and did that up in Waubonsee Valley, and then went out and played at Penn State, and played a year at Western Illinois, and then after that I signed a free agent contract with the Tennessee Titans. Played with them through preseason, and then they released me. I got picked up by the Seattle Seahawks, was there for 04 and 05, and then after that I played about a year of AFL football in the AFL 1 with the Austin Wranglers, and then last 5 years after that I coached my father at Danville High School and helped run the defense out there for him, and then last 2 years I've been down at Central Gwinnett, down in Georgia.
Coach, what kind of a program do you run? Offensive base, defensive base, spread? What are you all about?
Offensively wise, I like to run the spread, but we're going to run the ball. And the biggest thing on offense is, my two biggest things is managing the clock and executing in the red zone. Defensively wise, I tell everybody, kind of guts me. I've been an offensive player my whole life. I look at it as defense is the way to win championships, so I put most all my effort and time into the defensive side of the ball, which is why I've been a defensive coach for the last 7 years.
Do you know much about the league, the Central State 8?
Oh yeah, I know it from my dad, and I know Ken Leonard over at Sacred Heart Griffin's been a friend of my dad's for a long time, and I know Derek Leonard from when he played in high school with me. So I know about the football, and I know if you can get out of here and get into the playoffs, you got a chance of going real far.
Some parents were kind of unhappy with the way the last coach left. Do you have some work to do to win over parents and players, do you think?
To be honest with you, I don't really know too much about it. I know he's done a lot of positive things. That's pretty much all I know about, and all I can hope to do is just build upon those things the positive things that he has done for Springfield High School.
Do you have any ideas bringing in guys for your own coaching staff?
Wise, I've talked to Coach Dorr about it a little bit, and my process is during that spring break week, I'm gonna interview all the coaches that were on staff, that would like to come back, interview them, get to know them, get a feel for them, and then what I'll do is, depending on what teaching spots and whatnot, I like to put it out there. I think Springfield High School's got a lot to offer. Just being here today, seeing the kids walking around the hallways and seeing what kind of type of kid they got walking around, I think it's something that is an attraction for coaches.
And I know that right now you don't have a teaching position, but what's your degree in?
I'm a physical education and health, and I do right now. I teach 5 weight classes. I do pretty much down in Georgia. It's not PE's not mandatory, so it's only mandatory for a year. So I basically take all the athletes and go put them through a weight program.
Coach, I know that during the vetting process, just a simple Google search brings up things, and the allegations and the case back in 2001 is one of the front page items that's on that list. For a parent who may run across that as they're looking out to find more about you, what would you say is they might be putting one of their kids in your program?
I think it was one of what I consider probably my biggest life lesson, and the way I looked at it is I had 2 ways of going about it. I could either lay down, run away, hide, make excuses, and let it dictate my life. What I chose to do is, get up off the canvas, move forward, learn from it, and just everything I've done for the last 11 years since that, I've just tried to turn a negative into a positive. And I think the good thing that I found over the last 11 years is it's given me a forum to be able to communicate and be able to educate kids and tell them, I'm not some guy that's saying it, that's just saying it. I got the experience, I've been there, and I try to help kids make positive decisions, put themselves in positive situations, and let them know that being in the wrong place at the wrong time can have an effect on you. Here I am 11 years later, I still got to answer questions. So it's for them to know that and understand that gives me that forum to be able to connect with those kids.
Is there any remaining litigation from that, or is that all?
No, that's all. It's all in the past. It's all it's just something that, like I said, it's one of those life lessons that it's a tough one, but I think me being who I am, I stood up, learned from it, and decided to face it and move on. I think that's all you really can do.
And the judgment's paid on that. I mean,
yeah, everything's taken. It's all taken care of. I mean, it's all 11 years ago. I mean, it's one of those things that, like I said, it's a life lesson I had to learn, and I could either run away from it or I could face everything.
I hate to bring this up, but you said that you faced it, but it took 6 years and they couldn't find you. In 2007, they said they still didn't really have an address for you, and they had to issue a judgment without you in person. That doesn't necessarily seem to me.
No, it was one of those things where the process is a complicated process, and I think they were reaching their statute of limitation as far as when they could do it. It was something when I was playing football. They, it was a lawsuit, and they were putting it against me, and I think they just got to that point where it was one of those things where it was going to cost me, to be able to defend myself and to be able to, the money to be able to have the money and financial needs to fight for a lawsuit out in Pennsylvania. It's one of those issues I just didn't have, and so it was something where they just had to go ahead with it, and they were hoping that they could have had it happen. I was still in the NFL, and so they just went ahead with it.
Lighter note, Coach, you lost to Danville last year. This program, then I should say, that's your dad's program. Has he mentioned that to you already?
Oh yeah, I've watched the film. I've seen a lot of it, and it's been good. I watch him. I think Springfield gave him a handful, and the thing is I've known a guy for 32 years, so it's something. I think I know him pretty well, so I'm hoping to get a chance at it.
If there's a rematch next year, you kind of know his playbook.
Oh yeah, it's one that he ran when I was in high school, and it's one that I helped coach him with. So I think I got a pretty good handle on it.
We're really excited to move forward. We're really excited with RJ. We're looking forward to the future. We think we got the best coach out there possible, and I'm excited that he's going to bring that excitement to the football, to school, to the academics, and also to the kids, to get those kids to come out and to be excited about playing football at Springfield High School.
With some of the drama that circled around the decision to get rid of Coach Taylor, is it kind of a relief to have this process done and out of the way and moving on now?
It's always a relief to move forward. We're really excited about moving forward with Springfield High School. We feel that we have the best person for the job.
In the vetting process, we just talked to RJ about some of the things in his past, allegations against him, civil suit. Surely you guys looked at some of that, and I don't know to what level you can comment on that but were those issues addressed during the vetting process?
All those issues were addressed when we met with RJ and when we interviewed him regarding those issues, yes. We were aware of those issues before, and we had talked to him and discussed that with him as well.
Can I ask you what the positives were about him that made you guys feel comfortable go ahead and hiring him with that mark on his record?
So tell me why.
That mark on his record was 11 years ago when he was in college. A lot of people do things in college and do things that they're not always proud of, and he went through the process and was exonerated on those things. So we didn't feel that was our right to put that against him. His knowledge, his charisma, his excitement for the game of football, all that encompassed that he was our #1 candidate.
You said exonerated, but there was a decision of almost $1 million against him.
That's a civil suit. Anybody can sue anybody in those matters. So that's not a legal matter.
Is that something though that the school board takes into consideration, just simply because they face litigation more often than you or I, obviously?
I would assume that they would take it into consideration. We talked about it with our superiors and moving forward. Again, it was a civil matter. So.